When 17-year-old Josh, a self-proclaimed liberal teen activist and guitar enthusiast, uploaded a TikTok challenging conservative firebrand Karoline Leavitt to a guitar battle, he expected to make a bold statement and maybe even embarrass a politician in the process. What he didn't expect was to be completely floored by her skills. The challenge started off as a joke. Josh, known online for his spicy takes and quick licks on the electric guitar, stitched one of Karoline's campaign videos where she mentioned being a fan of classic rock and playing music to unwind. With a smirk and a wink to his 200K followers, he said, "All right, Karoline, let's see if your guitar solos are as sharp as your opinions. Let's battle, you and me. One song, no politics, just riffs." The internet did what the internet does. The video went viral in less than 24 hours. Thousands of comments poured in, some egging Josh on, others tagging Karoline non-stop, daring her to respond. For a day, there was silence. Then, Karoline posted a reply. Not from a press room, not from a rally stage, but from her living room, cradling a cherry-red Gibson SG. "Challenge accepted," she said, a grin playing on her face. "I don't usually do this, but hey, let's have some fun. No politics, just music." What followed next turned into one of the most unexpected viral moments of the year. The stage was set virtually. Both agreed to cover the same song, "Sweet Child O' Mine" by Guns N' Roses. It was classic, technical, and gave plenty of room to show off. Josh went first. His version was tight, crisp fingering, smooth transitions, and a bit of flair on the bends. He even added a cheeky wink to the camera at the end, clearly confident he'd taken the W already. But then came Karoline's turn. Recorded in one take, in a softly lit room surrounded by old vinyls and an American flag hanging loosely in the background, she opened with the iconic riff but with a twist. She was fingerpicking it flawlessly, adding slight variations that showcased not just skill, but musical maturity. It was bluesy, emotional, and gritty. When she launched into the solo, her face scrunched with focus, every note bent with purpose, vibrato ringing through the amp like she'd been born with a Les Paul in her hands. By the time she ended, there was silence. Then the internet exploded. Comments flooded in. "Wait, Karoline can play?" one wrote. Another said, "I might not agree with her politics, but respect where it's due. That was fire." Even Josh, to his credit, posted a reaction clip, with his mouth agape, and simply said, "Okay, I did not see that coming." What made this moment so fascinating wasn't just the unexpected talent, it was the breaking of stereotypes. People from all sides started chiming in, realizing that sometimes personality and passion transcend ideology. It wasn't about liberal or conservative. It was about two people connected through music, showcasing raw talent, and having the guts to step up to the challenge. Karoline later posted a follow-up video, laughing as she thanked Josh for the fun. "I haven't jammed like that in years. Mad respect, Josh. You've got killer technique. Let's do it again sometime. Maybe a blues duel next?" Josh replied, "You're on, but next time, I'm bringing my Strat." The exchange gained coverage beyond TikTok. News outlets picked it up. Late-night hosts threw in a few jokes. Even some rock legends reposted clips of the battle, praising both young players for their chops and guts. The most surprising twist? It sparked a wave of other cross-political musical duels. Young conservatives and liberals alike started posting duets, challenges, and collabs, all with the hashtag #DarkShredPolitics. Suddenly, the internet was seeing something rare: connection through creativity instead of division through debate. And for Karoline, this wasn't just a cool moment. It was a reminder that even the most unexpected connections can go viral when they're real. "Music has always been one of the things that grounds me," she said in an interview. "It's the universal language, and I'm glad I got to speak it with someone who sees the world differently." As for Josh, he's been practicing harder than ever. "Next time, no mercy," he joked in a live stream. "I'm coming back with Van Halen level stuff." At the end of the day, this wasn't just a guitar battle. It was a culture clash that turned into a jam session. A viral moment that reminded millions of people watching that beneath all the noise, we all still hear the same chords when the music starts. And maybe, just maybe, we're not as divided as we think. And maybe, just maybe, this battle of guitars was the unexpected harmony no one saw coming. The aftermath of the showdown brought something even more surprising than Karoline's shredding skills or Josh's humility. It brought a community. Within a week, forums popped up where people debated guitar tone instead of tax policy. Reddit threads that usually devolved into political warfare were suddenly filled with gear reviews, tablature swaps, and clips of people playing everything from Zeppelin to Paramore. It was like a breath of fresh air. Karoline started getting messages from young musicians asking for tips, how she learned, what her favorite pedals were, even if she'd ever consider releasing a full cover. She responded to as many as she could, often with short videos showing her setup or breaking down a tricky solo. She wasn't just a political figure anymore. She was now, to some, a legitimate guitarist. Josh, meanwhile, leaned into the moment with full force. He posted a reaction video titled, "She Destroyed Me and I'm Not Even Mad," which racked up millions of views. In it, he not only praised Karoline's skills, but reflected on how the experience challenged more than just his technique. It challenged his assumptions. "I had this idea in my head," he admitted in the video, "that if someone thinks differently than me politically, then they're just wrong. But this reminded me that people are way more complex than what we see online. She didn't dunk on me, didn't make it political. She just played. And damn, she played." Their duel became the centerpiece of a new YouTube series Josh launched called Cross Strings, where he invites people from different backgrounds to jam, collaborate, and talk. Not debate, but talk. Karoline was his first guest. The episode was casual, full of laughs, and not once did the word Congress come up. It ended with them playing a blues duet that faded out over the credits. That single video pulled in over 5 million views in its first week. What started as a joke became a movement. Teachers started using the story in classrooms to talk about empathy and connection. Music stores saw an uptick in teens signing up for lessons, many inspired by the story of two polar opposites finding common ground. Even mainstream media had to admit, this was different. Not performative, not orchestrated by a PR team, just raw, human, and honestly refreshing. In a follow-up interview with Rolling Stone, Karoline said, "This wasn't about changing minds, it was about opening them. And I think Josh did the same. We both stepped into each other's world a little, and we walked out better for it." The comment section of that article was unusually wholesome. One person wrote, "I came here for the drama, stayed for the solos. Now I'm just glad someone's reminding us we're all human." And that's what this moment was, a reminder that behind every avatar, every opinion, every stereotype, there's a person who might just surprise you, a person who can blow your mind with a Les Paul and a little distortion, a person who, when you put the politics aside and plug into the amp, plays the same notes you do. So what's next? Rumors are flying that Josh and Karoline might go on a small tour, college campuses, guitar clinics, even a possible collaboration album titled Strings Across the Aisle. Nothing confirmed yet, but fans are hopeful. One thing's certain, this story isn't just about a guitar battle anymore. It's about how sometimes the best way to cut through the noise is with a solo that leaves everyone speechless. Thanks for watching. If this story gave you chills, inspired you, or just made you smile, drop a comment below and hit that like button. And hey, maybe grab your guitar, reach out to someone who sees the world differently, and see what happens when you jam. Because music doesn't care who you vote for. It only cares how you feel. And when we play together, even for just a moment, we all speak the same language. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories that prove the world isn't just black and white. It's full of wild solos, surprise, harmonies, and moments that remind us what it means to connect. Until next time, keep the volume up and the walls down. And as the final chords of their unexpected duet continue to echo across the internet, a bigger question begins to rise. Not just how did this happen, but why did it strike such a chord with people everywhere? The answer is simpler than it seems. We're all hungry for authenticity. In a world of algorithm-driven outrage, curated content, and carefully crafted political sound bites, this moment, two people with completely different worldviews connecting through nothing but a shared love for guitar, felt real. No script, no spin, just strings, sweat, and soul. And it wasn't just young people paying attention. Guitar icons started weighing in. Joe Bonamassa tweeted, "Both of these kids have chops, and more importantly, they've got guts. Would jam with either of them anytime." Slash even reposted a clip of Karoline's solo on his story with a fire emoji, and the caption, "Did not see that coming." Karoline responded the only way possible, with a screenshot and a caption that just read, "I can retire now." Meanwhile, music magazines started calling it the shred heard round the web. Articles dissected their gear, tone choices, and phrasing like it was a Grammy performance. YouTube was flooded with reaction videos, covers, even parody skits. But while the internet did its thing, Karoline and Josh stayed grounded. They appeared on a live stream together just 2 weeks later. No big production, no flashy intro. Just two guitars, two chairs, and a shared sense of something bigger than both of them. "Honestly," Josh said during the stream, "this was never supposed to mean anything. I was just trying to troll a politician. But now, I think this might be one of the coolest things I've ever done." Karoline laughed. "I came here to play some AC/DC and ended up with a new friend. Life's weird like that." The chat exploded with positivity. The stream ended with an impromptu jam session. Karoline started playing Fleetwood Mac's The Chain, and Josh jumped in. No planning, just instinct. And it was magic. A few minutes of music that once, again, reminded everyone watching, this is what unity looks like. Not agreement, not sameness. Just two people choosing to listen, respond, and build something together. Fast forward a month, and rumors of a documentary began circulating. Word is, a major streaming service has reached out to both of them for the rights to turn the story into a full-length feature. Working title? Strings Attached. Early production notes hint at a mix of behind-the-scenes footage, interviews, jam sessions, and a broader exploration of music as a unifier in divided times. And in the background, the community keeps growing. Thousands of duets, remixes, mashups, and challenges flood social media under the Shred Politics hashtag. People who once blocked each other over headlines are now bonding over harmonics and scale patterns. Karoline, in a podcast interview, summed it up best. "Maybe we don't need to win every argument. Maybe we just need to play the next song." Josh echoed the sentiment on his channel. "There's power in putting your guard down for 5 minutes and just vibing. And who knew? Sometimes the person on the other side of the aisle can really play." So where does this leave us? It leaves us with possibility. That no matter how loud the shouting gets, how divided the headlines say we are, there's still common ground. And sometimes that ground isn't found in the courtroom or the comment section, but in the quiet space between two guitarists, both lost in the same solo. Thanks for being part of this wild, beautiful moment. If you've been inspired to connect, to create, or to pick up that dusty guitar in the corner of your room, do it. You never know who you'll connect with. Because in the end, maybe music won't save the world. But it might just help us remember why it's worth saving. Hit that subscribe button for more true stories that hit different. And until next time, keep jamming, keep listening, and never underestimate the power of a perfectly played solo.